Welcome to the Queen's Table podcast. I am your host, Marissa J, and today we are going to talk about last night's shit show of a debate. Yes, that was a whole hot mess of a show. But first, I do want to get into what will be coming out later today. Today is Wednesday, September 30th, and today they will be releasing the transcripts. Who's they? Who's releasing what transcripts? The transcripts that we have been begging for that was in the grand jury testimony, the cops that shot Breanna Taylor. Yeah, all of that's coming out today. Now, we're going to be getting, audio recording in lieu of a transcript, of a typed out transcript. So we won't be receiving any typed out transcripts, just the audio. And I don't know, I'm glad that we're able to hear it, but I'm afraid that there's going to be something that might be, we can't understand, but the transcriber would be able to understand it better. I don't know. But they have really been trying to keep this under wraps for a very long time. CNN reported that, in the court filing, the juror references Cameron's public statements maintaining that the grand jury proceedings are secret, and that Cameron attempted to make very clear that the grand jury alone made the decision alone on who and what to charge. And the only exception to the responsibility he foisted upon the grand jurors was in his statement that they agreed with his team's investigation, that Mattingly and Cosgrove, the other two cops that were not charged with anything, were justified in their actions. And that's from CNN. Listen, this is just not good. It's not good at all. Here's the thing. You guys know where I stand on the whole voting issue. That yes, we should go out and vote, but it doesn't need to stop there. We need to hold these politicians accountable, hold their feet to the fire, okay? And vote people in your local elections that's actually going to make a difference. I was talking with Toya. You guys know Toya. If this is your first time listening to the show, hey, how you doing? I always do that. I forget to introduce myself, but hey. Anyway, I was talking with a good friend of mine. You little listeners will know Toya Griffin from Most Scrubs by Toya. I was talking to her not too long ago, and she was like, she put it in a way that I had never really thought of before. And what she said was this: if our votes do not count, if they don't matter, then why in the hell are they trying so hard to suppress our votes? That's the real question. Why are they trying so hard to suppress our votes if they do not matter? They matter. They absolutely matter. Our votes absolutely matter, especially in local politics. Okay, in these local elections, get familiar with these people that are already in office, that are already serving. Get familiar with these judges that are already on the bench. Okay, if you can vote them out, vote them out. Okay, that's what we have to do. The people that are in office right now, if they are making decisions that are not up to par with your decisions and with your belief set, vote them out. Our votes absolutely matter. However, it can't stop there. You don't just vote and then expect people to do right. That doesn't work. You see what happens when you vote and expect people to do right. And then you wonder why shit like this is happening. You do have to vote, so please go out and vote. If you haven't voted already, go ahead and vote. Go ahead and vote and do what you need to do to get your ballot across, and so we can get over this. Okay? Because voting is the first step. That's step number one. There are extra steps too. You have to hold these people accountable. You absolutely have to hold these people accountable. Just like you check your child's homework before they submit it. Okay? It's the same thing. Obviously, politicians cannot be trusted. You have to hold their feet to the fire. We'll be back in just a moment with the rest of the show. Okay, and we are back. Now, let's get to talking about this trash of an event that happened last night. So last night was the very first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. First, I've told two people this yesterday. I told two people before everything started. I told my mom and my niece. I said, watch Trump not even show up. That was my prediction, that Trump was not going to show up. I was like, I would be very surprised if he showed up. Because didn't they start like super duper late? We all thought that it was going to be starting. I know I gotten several notifications through on YouTube that, oh yeah, it's starting now. And then I click on it and it's like 30 more minutes. So I'm like, yeah, he ain't finna show. So as soon as Donald Trump walks out, like Joe Biden walks out Donald Trump walks out first. And then Joe Biden came out and he was just as shocked as I was. Like his eyes got big. He like was, whoa, you're actually here. And then he kind of mouths out the word good. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up. Okay, he didn't fuck him up. All right, listen, it was just as bad. If you didn't watch it, it was just as bad as everybody has been saying it is. It was an entire circus. Now, here's the thing. I am a very busy person. I do a lot of things throughout the day. And yesterday was a particularly interesting day. I had a lot of stuff that was going on. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to take a nap. It was right around 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere in there. Because I wanted to make sure that I could stay up long enough to watch this 90-minute debate. Yeah, it went on for 90 minutes. So, while I was trying to get some rest, I wasn't able to. Some other stuff that came up and I had to go and run some errands, do some, ripping and running here and there. And I ended up falling asleep in the middle of the debate. Yeah, I fell asleep. Here's the thing, and everybody will tell you, oh no, that wasn't a, nod your head kind of a debate. It was like, how could you fall asleep? I fell asleep because I was exhausted. Okay, guys, I was tired. I was absolutely tired. There really wasn't too awful much that anybody could do to keep me awake. However, what I did see last night, and then I caught up with the what I didn't watch earlier this morning when I woke up. So what I caught and what was played last night, guys, Donald Trump had a strategy, and his strategy was to get under Joe's skin. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how you say it. Get under his skin. Get under his skin, and that's what's going to make him slip up. Okay? Now, because Donald Trump was interrupting, and it wasn't. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone interrupts me, because I don't interrupt other people. So when someone interrupts me, it's really annoying. I hate it. It is definitely within top 7. I wouldn't go so far as to say 5. Maybe not top 5, but very, very close. Top 7 of my pet peeves. Like, I hate that. I absolutely hate it. And I hate it when people do it to other people. When I'm trying to hear someone and listen to what they're saying, and someone over here is interrupting them, especially when they know they're not supposed to be talking, that's annoying. That is incredibly annoying. So I was incredibly annoyed throughout the entire thing because Donald Trump would not shut the fuck up. He would not shut any fucks. Any fucks. He had plenty of fucks last night and he didn't shut any of them up. None of them. So it was a really... you couldn't get anything out of it. You really couldn't get anything out of it. Joe Biden's over here running out the clock and like purposely running out the clock. Start knowing that you only have 2 minutes to answer the question. You start off by saying, well, thank you so much for asking that question. That's a very important question. Like, come on, you're running out the clock at this point. Okay. You only have 2 minutes. And you know what? Let's put a pin in that for a split second and go, let me address something. There were 6 questions that were asked. None of them were answered outright. Okay. And we didn't get an answer. Joe tried. He tried to answer. He legitimately was trying to answer. And he did have what sounded like the start of some really great answers. However, none of these answers or questions got fully answered. There was only 6 of them, and they each had 2 minutes to respond or give their answer. And then the rest of the time is they have a debate, a back and forth on it. Open discussion is what they called it. And these are, 15-minute segments for each question, right? So, okay. I have a huge problem with that entire setup. There's only 6 questions. We're supposed to be able to make an informed decision based off of 2-minute answers on 6 questions. There were important questions that needed to have been answered, but that's all we get. I understand that there's supposed to be more. Mind you, I said supposed to be more presidential debates in the next, I don't know. I honestly, I really don't know. This is very, very late that we're getting started with everything. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's happening here, but I do know this. Regardless of what happens, what's the main takeaway? Got to go out and vote. Okay. We got to go out and vote. Now, as far as the presidential election, I mean, it's there. It's already there. It's the ballot right in front of you. Just, it's going to be I'm not going to say that. Listen, it's going to be a shit show either way, but, would you rather have a shit show ran by someone competent or someone that lies to you and says that COVID's nothing but the flu and that you could just inject yourself with some bleach? It's ridiculous. We live in a ridiculous time. We live in a ridiculous era. This entire year has just been a wear and tear on everyone's mental health. And I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. Some people have noticed, this year's been taking a toll on them physically. It's a very odd time to be alive. I'm humbled by this year. I think a lot of people have been, not 100% sure. Obviously not Donald Trump, but we've just got to be able to make some informed decisions here. The presidential debate election. That's not the only one that matters. It's not the only one that matters. Okay, guys, you've got people in local office that you can vote out every 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to stay on top of it in the same way that they have to stay on top of it. When you don't stay on top of it, guess what? We get people like Donald Trump, and then we get judges and state officials at the local level putting in these insane laws, not prosecuting people that need to be prosecuted, locking people up that don't deserve to be locked up. It's backwards country. It's backwards country. This is what happens when you don't hold politicians to their word. This is what you get. And now it's going to be harder than ever to recover from this. Okay? When you have Republicans controlling just about every corner of every branch that we have, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. You know, again, I really just can't stress enough how badly it doesn't stop at the elections. After November 3rd, November 4th, it doesn't mean that we're in the free and clear just because it's November 4th. We're not in the free and clear. You have to hold these people accountable. Okay? We've been having an issue with the Electoral College for years. For decades. Okay? For decades we've been having an issue with the Electoral College. We know it's a problem. But nobody ever seems to mention it until it's an election year. And that's too late to do anything about it. You have to hold these people accountable. You got to. You have to. Otherwise, we get shitstorms like this. And how are we going to recover from it? I don't know. I don't know. But the first step is to get out there and vote. You have to. 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 You have to get out there and vote. Okay? So let's do that. That whole ballot ready thing. Let's get that thing going. Okay? Let's get out there and let's vote. Let's make plans. Okay? Get to know these elected officials. Email them. Their emails should be right on their web pages. It's not hard to find these folks. Email them. Hell, if you want to socially distance and meet up with them, I'm sure they would take the time out to meet up with you. Hey, I am a voter. I'm a registered voter in your district. And I want to know more about A, B, C, and D. So tell me more about A, B, C, and D and where you stand on that. Tell me about what you have done. Tell me about what you're planning to do. If they don't answer you in the way that, you know, you deserve to be answered as a registered voter, as a constituent, then ask the other guy. Ask the other guy. But listen, guys, we do have to get out there and vote. It's incredibly important. Like, again, what Toya said, if our votes didn't matter, then what? Why would they be suppressing it? So why would Donald Trump be telling his Proud Boys to get out there and stop folks from voting? It's because your vote matters. So anyway, let me hop back into it because I kind of went off there on a tangent there for a minute. But back into the debate. Speaking of the Nazi Party, Trump was given 3 opportunities to denounce white supremacy and he declined. Guys, I don't know why this is such a surprise. You know that he's a Klansman. You know this. You know this. You know this. He supported David Duke. Come on, guys. You can't be that blind. You can't be that blind. Oh, let's see what else. It was terrible. It was just terrible all the way around. And then I was reminded of this. Who's next? Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. They're next. They're next to debate. I'm definitely going to have a very, very big bottle of wine in order to get through that. Because, yeah, 90 minutes of some old white dude yelling at a woman of color who is, by the way, locked up just as many black people as Pence wants to lock up gay people. But that's okay. That's fine. Let's just sit and listen to that. Ugh. God. Yeah, I'm not doing too well. I'm not doing too good, you guys. I'm not doing too good. It's a shit show. But, the show must go on. And regardless if it's a shit show or the greatest show on earth, it must go on. It must. It can't just stop. Okay? No one's ever just going to say, you know what? Let's just turn this whole boat around and do some redecorating and try out another system. New systems do not get implemented in the midst of content. New systems get implemented in the midst of chaos. And this year is nothing if not chaos. It's nothing if not chaotic. That's all this year has been. So, anyhow, yeah, the debate was terrible. These transcripts, when they come out, they're not going to say anything that's going to shock us too awful badly, I don't think. I think it's going to... Who was on the grand jury? Obviously, we're not going to be able to find out. But who the hell was on the grand jury? For them to say, oh, yeah, we agree. Totally within their rights. Really? Okay. Nobody can get charged. Okay. All right. What about the judge that signed that order? That warrant, that no-knock warrant? What about him? Are we going to say anything to him? Like, how did you know? Oh, this is the suspect? Did you, I don't know, happen to check the jail? Because for those of you that don't know, they had a no-knock warrant on a home that wasn't rented out, leased out, owned, lived in by the person that was on the warrant. That guy that they were looking for was in jail already. He was locked up. They had him. They already had him. Didn't need a no-knock warrant. Nobody had the wherewithal to think, hey, maybe let's run this name through the system really quick before we use tax dollars to go off and kill yet another black person. So, there you go. Louisville, I really hope that you guys are paying attention. Louisville, I really hope you guys are registered to vote. Louisville, I really hope that you guys do plan to vote. I really hope you guys plan to vote. Kenosha, I really hope you guys plan to vote. Minneapolis, I really hope you guys plan to vote. Everybody, we have to vote. We have to. Otherwise, it's just going to keep happening. This is what happens when we don't vote. Okay? All right. Well, stay tuned for the next episode. I don't know when the hell that's going to be. Fuck 2020, guys.